recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
Take these broken wings, it's Mister!
Broken wings.
Son of a bee sting!
Chris.
I thought it was about a tree falling. I thought it was talking about a person going down. Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Carmela.
My vodka's telling me that no, they didn't.
And the answer is yes, they were in 1854.
You lied to me!
Ben.
Jonathan was literally about to break things. He wasn't kidding. He was about to get it from his desk and destroy something valuable.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today in my room by myself, which is kind of lonely. I have to admit, I kind of miss my friends. But I have other friends. In fact, I have some great friends on this call with me right now. Rachel Shuman is with me today. Hey, Rachel.
Hi, Jonathan.
Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. This will be my first episode.
I know. You've recorded one before. We'll talk about it in a sec. I'm sure. But before that, I have to welcome everybody else. Alex Eveland is with us today. Hey, Alex.
Good morning.
I am glad you are here, my friend.
I'm ready to go.
Oh, Josh Wennrich is here, and there is a kid who wants to give him a hug, and we're not going to deny that. Josh, give the kid a hug. It's okay.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning. Yeah, hugs with kids are totally allowed during the recording. We do not ever shun that. And Steve Morris is with us today. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Jonathan. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Welcome to the show. All right, I want to get to know everybody a lot better. Rachel, we're going to start with you. I want you to tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hi. So, I'm Rachel Shuman. I live in Maryland, right outside of D.C. I work for a big union. Something fun about myself. Tomorrow's my birthday.
Ooh.
Happy birthday.
I think this calls for a terrible Skype rendition of Happy Birthday where none of the parties are able to sync up. I think that's a thing. Josh.
That was Stephen Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
That was he introduced us to that idea.
Yes, that's right. I think we have to do this. Josh, Steve, Alex, are you with me? Can we get a happy birthday out of y'all?
Sure.
All right.
We're ready.
On a count of three, and don't worry about what other people are saying, okay? It doesn't matter if it sounds good. This is about heart. This isn't about sound. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rachel. Happy birthday to you. All right.
Yay! Woo! That was beautiful.
What an
Thank
awesome,
you.
fun fact. I love it. Now, Rachel, you have recorded before.
I have recorded.
Yes. December of 2020, I believe. There's an After Dark episode featuring you and Taylor Gibson and Nick Groves and Katie Sikelski and Steve Ellison and myself. And it is long. In fact, so long that I'm going to have to go back and re-edit the full episode after it's done being edited. But that's not why it hasn't been finished yet. It's just long. It's just hard to get to when it's so big.
It was really long. It took us 2.5 hours to get to the first question.
Yeah, it was a thing. So there's more cutting that needs to be done, but that will see the light of day. I do promise that. Nick is being a pain in the ass about it. He's actually asking me for the file. He's like, I'll edit it for you. I'm like, no, leave me alone. But so this is your first official appearance on the show. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Nice to be here.
And Alex, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
So I am from Gurnee, Illinois. It's a kind of a medium-sized town just north of Chicago. We have the Six Flags, so I tell everybody that I live right next door to Six Flags. I work for a pharma company. I'm a microbiologist for them.
Ooh,
and
science.
Yeah, science, a lot of science. And something fun about myself is I play the trumpet. I just listened to an episode where we had another trumpet playing microbiologist.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Who is that? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and then Gary Middleton's also from Gurnee, so I'm like, oh boy, I'm not going to bring anything original to this.
Oh, sure you will. Have you ever met Gary?
No, I have not, but he works at the company down the street from me, so...
You guys need to get together for a pub quiz. This is shameful.
Yes, we do.
Oh, I love it. All right, well, welcome to the show. It is great to have you. Do you have a favorite piece that you play on trumpet?
A favorite piece? You know, for a warm-up, I'll do the Force theme song. That's usually my go-to warm-up.
The what theme song?
The Force theme from Star Wars, Binary Sunset.
Oh, the Force. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Steve Morris, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Yeah, hey everyone. My name is Steve Morris. I am from a small town right outside the Boston area. Your favorite, Jonathan, I know.
Mm-hmm.
For work, I work at a medical software company, and I basically do conversions of data from one system to another to make sure all your health information gets to the new system. Nothing too fun with that. Something fun about myself is recently with the new movie, I have reinvigorated my Ghostbusters fandom, as I have on my Ghostbusters jumpsuit here.
Nice. He is dressed up in a Ghostbusters khaki brown outfit. This is fantastic.
With his own name tag on it, too.
With my own name tag. And this is only like 5% of the gear that I actually have.
Woo!
But so it's been good. So I've been in contact. There's a local Ghostbusters fan club, and they actually have an Ecto one, and they all have all the gear and stuff. And they go out and they do appearances for Children's Hospital fundraising for leukemia. So I'm hoping to, once we can actually get outside a little bit more, do some appearances, raise some money for the kids.
Even I can't hate that kind of Boston. Salute to you guys up in Boston who are a part of that, raising money for kids by doing beloved movie props and dressing up. That's outstanding. I love it.
Yep, it's an excuse to dress up.
Absolutely. Hey, whatever it takes, right?
Yep.
And Josh, I didn't go out of order just now. I went out of order earlier because I absolutely wanted to make sure that I didn't talk over your kid when they were just wanting a hug. So why don't you tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself?
Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, Josh Wennrich here. I now live in Williamsburg, Virginia, and I don't do anything right now because I am retired from the Air Force. I'm no longer a lieutenant colonel. I'll always be lieutenant colonel in the Trivia Warfare Army. Can't retire from that.
Beautiful.
So no, I'm just enjoying the finer things in life, playing with my kids. Got a lot of snow here. I'll go sledding after this, and it's just been a nice ride so far.
Wow. That is a fantastic opportunity, really, to just have a little bit of a break. And as always, we appreciate your service. I mean, to reach that rank and the kind of things that you have gone through and experienced and the work that you've done, it's a testament to who you are as a person. So we appreciate you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So I think it's time to get started. We're going to get started with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
So I have today's Warm It Up Chris question for us. And I believe it was sent in by Brian Harris, who is a really fun guy. Let's see, not a fun guy, though, just a fun guy. It's very important to be clear. So, yeah, Brian Harris, what he did, he said, I will read the tagline or slogan for beer brands. They were once used for a popular beer brand from around the world. You just need to tell me what beer brand used these slogans. I do have the ability to help you a little bit. I can give you the country where it originates. if you request it. Okay? So we will start with Rachel. Rachel, I want you to tell me, what is the champagne of beers?
Oh, that's Miller High Life.
Miller High Life is correct. Good job. Good
I'm
start.
very classy. Yeah.
Alex, miles away from ordinary.
Miles away from ordinary. Is that Coors?
No, I'll give you another guess though. I associate this brand with during the Christmas season with the palm tree with Christmas lights on it.
Palm tree with Christmas.
Like a dark scene at the beach.
Oh,
and
Corona.
Corona is correct. Miles away from ordinary. Yes. All right, Steve, you get Head for the Mountains.
Head for the Mountains. That sounds like something Coors would say. Is it Coors?
It is not Coors. It's not Coors. Does anybody know?
Is it Bush?
It is Bush. Head for the Mountains. Bush. Yeah. Okay, Josh, this is The Fighting Spirit. And remember, I can give you the country of origin if you wish.
I feel that's something not in the U.S. So yeah, let me get the hint.
They've been advertising more heavily in the last 10 years than I ever remember. They are from Mexico.
All right, so it's going to be down to 2. I'll say Dos Equis.
It is not Dos Equis. If it's down to 2, what was your other guess?
Modelo.
It is Modelo. Modelo is the fighting spirit, yes. And their advertisements kind of focus on that, the struggle and the effort of making that brand a reality. All right, back over to Rachel. Oh, Rachel, you get basically 2 clues in 1. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Reassuringly inexpensive and looks ugly, tastes great.
Oh, my.
The country will probably be a big help here.
I will ask for the country of origin.
The country is Belgium.
Belgium. And you said looks ugly, tastes great.
Yes.
And what was the reassuringly what?
Inexpensive.
Reassuringly inexpensive.
Yes.
Belgium. Oh, dear.
You know, looks ugly, tastes great is a weird variation of the taste
like
great,
Smuckers.
less filling clue that everybody's going to be familiar with.
It could just be schmookers.
Schmookers from Belgium.
Schmookers with a name like that.
With an umlaut.
All right, Belgium. What's in Belgium? Oh, crap.
I remember they had a famous actor doing their ads for a while. He might still be doing it. I can't remember his name, but he has a hawk face with a pointy nose.
Was it Adrian Brody?
Yes, that's him.
It's not helping me get to the answer.
Well, Adrian Brody has advertised for them for a long time. And I love that I described hawk face with a pointy nose and you picked the right celebrity on the first try.
I'm proud of that too. Unfortunately, that's not what's getting me a point here. Belgium beer. Why am I blanking? It's because I don't drink enough beer. Okay. What's an ugly beer? Delirium Tremens. It's actually a very pretty bottle, but I think it's Belgian.
It is not correct. Does anybody know?
Heineken?
No. Oh, gosh. I thought the Adrian Brody clue was going to be a giveaway. This is Stella Artois.
Oh, I thought that was Czech.
No, it's Belgium.
Oh, and Heineken, I think, is Dutch.
Dutch, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, fun story about Stella. One of my friends, they had a contest at a bar for who could pour the best Stella, and they actually sent him, I think, to Belgium to be like in the national finals of Stella beer pouring.
Wow. I didn't know that was a thing.
I did not.
That's going on the resume.
Right, for sure.
Really? Yes.
And you need a beer comb to slice the head off the top with. That'd be just gorgeous. Speaking of sounds like tastes great, less filling, Alex, you get tastes great, less filling.
Tastes great, less filling.
This was so big in the 80s.
Oh boy, I was a twinkle in my parents' eye in the 80s.
I remember being in like a Boy Scout jamboree, which is where lots of troops have a joint camping trip all around. And so there's 100 boys, and one side is yelling "tastes great," and the other side is yelling "less filling." And this is like the Boy Scouts as 12-year-olds.
Is it Miller Lite?
It is Miller Lite. Good job. That is fantastic. All right, Steve. Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Shout out to my dad. That's the only beer he drinks.
Wow.
So.
All right, Steve, we're going to try and take it down a notch in classiness here. Yours is going to be idiotic, to say the least.
Idiotic, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. I'll go ahead and tell you it's U.S. And think about low-cost beers.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind for low-cost beers would be Keystone Cops. Could it be Keystone?
It is not Keystone. No, if you're out in the country and you need a 12-pack and you only got like $3 to spend, you'd probably go after this brand. Yeah. Does anybody know it?
I could go after a Natty Light.
Natty Light, that's right. Is Natural Light is the correct answer. All right, Josh, I'm going to skip that. I'm skipping Coors right now. Everybody's been guessing Coors. It's head for the Rockies. Shut up. All right, I want you to tell me, Josh, Australian for beer.
Oh, it's Foster's.
Foster's, Australian for beer. All right, Rachel.
Yeah.
You get... Oh, wow, this is a cool slogan. Probably the best beer in the world. I love that for advertising. Probably. You know, probably the best beer in the world. You get to say best beer in the world and not get sued for it.
What country of origin, please?
This is from Denmark.
Really?
Yes. It's not a big name brand.
I don't think this is Danish. I'll say Chimay.
No. Does anybody know? This brand is Carlsberg. Carlsberg.
Well, they're tooting their own horn there a little bit.
I love it. I think that Trivial Warfare is probably the best trivia podcast in the world. I think this kind of advertising is really, really great.
I'm just fighting words.
Alex, you get the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
Oh, is this Schlitz?
It is Schlitz. Fantastic.
I won't tell my joke. I have a joke about it.
Well, then why wouldn't you tell it?
Because it's too long. It's a shaggy dog.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, then maybe we'll save that for later on.
And notes.
Okay, Steve. This one is pretty cool. It says, "I am Canadian."
I am Canadian.
I am Canadian.
All right. Well, there's two beers I think of when I think of Canada. I think of Labatt Blue, and I think of Molson. I know when I've been to Canada, you actually order a Canadian when you're asking for a Molson, so I'm going to go with Molson Canadian.
It is Molson Canadian. Well done. All right, Josh, you get sooner or later, you'll get it.
I'm going to need the country of origin.
The country is Mexico, but it's brewed by a German brewer. But it is associated with Mexico.
Can you use it in a sentence?
This beer is brewed in Mexico by a German brewer. I think that this clue is very fun for you in this moment because of your previous beers. Sooner or later, you'll get it.
Sooner or later. And I'll just simply say the answer that I said before, say Dos Equis.
Sooner or later, Dos Equis was going to be the right answer, and this was the time. All right, one more time around. Rachel.
Yep.
You get, it's beer. Hooray, beer.
Can I get a country?
Jamaica.
Oh, well, then it's got to be Red Stripe.
Hooray,
right?
Beer. Yes, it is a Red Stripe, man.
Yeah, Okay, cool.
All right. Alex, your last one is going to be Good Things Come to Those Who Wait. And it is not a ketchup brand. There's a famous Heinz ketchup commercial of Good Things Come to Those Who Wait. And it was literally just the ketchup slowly rolling out of the bottle.
Trying to make that a selling point. Jeez.
Does anybody really have to sell Heinz ketchup? I mean, is there any other ketchup to use?
No, there's Hunt's.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really ketchup.
Yeah, and those people are wrong. Can I get the country, please?
Oh, yeah, Ireland.
Ireland.
Think about a good thick beer.
That has to be Guinness.
Got to be Guinness. That's right. It takes about 2 years for the head on a Guinness to finally go away. So it makes sense. All right, Steve, you get Lose the carbs, not the taste.
Lose the carbs, not the taste. There have been a few beers that have been advertising on the low carb. The one that sticks out to me would be Michelob Ultra.
Michelob Ultra is correct.
Nice.
And then, Josh, you're going to round us out. Senses never forget.
Ooh. I'm going to need the country.
Absolutely. The country is Japan.
So the one beer that I know is from Japan was it Sapporo?
Is that your answer?
That is my answer, Sapporo.
Correct answer is Sapporo.
All
well
right.
done, everybody. You guys did a good job. I'm impressed.
Yay,
Yay.
Nice.
Hooray,
Oh.
beer.
Hooray, beer. And thank you once again to Brian Harris. He likes to send in warm it up Chris questions, and typically they're good. So thank you, Brian. Great job.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, so like I said, this is either episode 360 or 361, so I don't know which of my spiels to go into. Just in case, I will let everybody know if you want to get more Trivial Warfare, there is a lot more for you. Just go to trivialwarfarearmy.com and sign up to be a patron of the show. If you're at the $5 a month level or more, you get access to almost all of our historical episodes, including over 200 archived shows. And in fact, now that we're in the 350s, almost 360s, I need to go back and archive another 50-ish shows or so. So it's going to be 250 shows archived in the future. So there's a lot of stuff back there for you at trivialwarfarearmy.com. Huge shout out to all of our patrons and all of the folks who support the show. All of the fine folks you hear playing this game are patrons who were selected because they've been supporting the show for so long, and we are happy to have them, and we have nothing but love for everybody who is a part of what we're doing here. And today's matchup is going to be Rachel and Alex versus Steve and Josh. I'm going to be hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
All right, here we go. I have a set of questions where I wrote more than I did last time. I had a little bit more time, but I have plenty from folks who have been sending questions in. So huge thank you to everybody who sends in questions. You can do that over at trivialwarfare.com, not to be confused with trivialwarfarearmy.com. The latter is the Patreon site. The former is the show site. Or you can go to oaksmediagroup.com and find it there as well. So thank you to everybody who submits questions. Our first question comes from Clint Givens, who is a wonderful question writer. And the category is literature.
Literature.
Oh, and by the way, guys, I don't have any of my normal co-hosts here, so I need y'all to pick up the slack for me, okay? I need you to go balls to the wall. I need you to shout things out. I need you to have fun. Don't be shy. Otherwise, it's going to be me talking, and that's not going to be fun. All right?
I won't let you do that.
All right. Beautiful. Here we go. Literature.
Literature.
Beautiful. Despite an unusual and tragic childhood, and despite at one point giving up his claim to a title of nobility, the Englishman born John Clayton II eventually forged his own path to greatness, becoming an impressive and accomplished adventurer, multilingual polymath, and an exceptional hunter and tracker. By what name, which translates to white skin, is this literary character best known? Would either or would both teams like a slight hint?
I'll take a hint, sure.
Josh and Steve, do you guys want a hint?
Wait a second. Steve, what do you think?
I got nothing better than what you said. Sounds good.
Sounding like they're not going to want a hint. I'm not sure. I can't do it unless both teams want it.
Okay, I mean, I was just going to take a free hint if you were giving out free hints.
Absolutely, I understand.
I mean, if these guys want to live the struggle life, like,
I'm not positive. I mean, I think the answer fits some, but not all of the criteria that John's laid forward. Let's go with the hint. We'll take the hint too.
All right. It is just a slight hint. I say, what is the name of this literary character? Literary and film character. This character has appeared in films as well. Multiple films, actually.
Multiple films of the same work or of a serialized nature?
I honestly don't know how to answer that, so I won't answer that. But I will say that there were more than one films, and they are extremely different.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, Steven, you good with our answer then?
I'm good. Lock it in.
Okay, we'll lock it in, and Rachel and Alex can talk it out.
All right, Alex and Rachel, you guys can start talking.
All right. Well, so I was just trying to think. First thing that came to mind is Natty Bumppo from Last of the Mohicans, which I've not read. I didn't think that they were British, and I don't remember that character being a polymath, and I don't really see that as being something that would be in multiple very different films. So there are multiple films of that book and of the leather stocking tales. But I am thinking this does not fit. So now I'm wondering, a polymath, an adventurer. Any idea, Alex, if it could be like Candide? Or no, that wouldn't be in a lot of movies though.
No, so the translation's really tripping me up here because it's I mean I know what it is in Spanish, but that doesn't help if he's or the character's an Englishman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be he would have traveled somewhere and his name would have been changed, like in a Zorro kind of a way.
Yeah.
It's not Zorro though.
Could it be Tarzan? I'm just throwing that out there. So
he's not really known to be a polymath.
Okay.
Tarzan do multiplication. He probably did have a tragic childhood, though.
Yeah. The reason I said that, he's an Englishman.
Yeah.
John Clayton's a character in the Disney movie. It's not Tarzan. It's the villain, Clayton. But
hey, wouldn't that be a twist? That'd be a really dramatic twist if he's fighting his own father or brother. I kind of like it now. Yeah. Maybe Tarzan did learn geometry or something. Jungle geometry.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not getting anything better. Let's go with it. And that would...
All right. So you're going with Tarzan?
Alex looks really uncomfortable with this, but I think I don't know that we're going to get anything better.
I don't think we're going to get anything better either.
So are you locking in with Tarzan?
Yes, we're going to.
All right. Josh and Steve, tell me what you were thinking.
So we struggled as well to try and find somebody who would fit all the criteria. Hunter, adventurer, giving up a lordship, polymath. And we thought of someone who does fit most of that. He's also in several films, serialized and by themselves. We just couldn't figure out where the polymath comes in. And, maybe when he's swinging from the vines, he's dealing with geometry and calculus. And we also came up with Tarzan.
So both teams went with Tarzan. The correct answer is Tarzan. You are right.
Holy moly.
So in the movies, Tarzan gets depicted as a bit of an idiot. But I believe in the novels, in the books, Tarzan, I'm looking at a description from the Sydney Morning Herald. They had an article when Tarzan turned 100. Tarzan was Jane Goodall's inspiration for going and studying the chimpanzees, by the way. That's noted in this article. And I'm going to read a paragraph for you from this article in the Sydney Morning Herald. All the while, Tarzan manages to perform his heroic exploits while managing to speak Bengali ape, grammatically perfect English, and a host of other languages, from French to Dutch, German, Swahili, Arabic, ancient Greek, ancient Latin, Mayan, and more. So I think the book character probably has a bit more going on than maybe some of the movies. And by the way, there were 20 plus movies of different variations. There was one in the 80s with Richard Harris and Bo Derek in it. I was flipping through, like, wow, look at all these movies.
Wow. Yeah, when I think of Tarzan, I think of me, Tarzan, where food, not
me, Tarzan, you, Jane.
Multilingual.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he would have said, hello, my name is Tarzan. You are Jane. Oh, it's nice to meet you. All right, both teams get the points in question 1. Question 2, your category is music and movies. What is the title of a 2021 Billie Eilish song used in the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer / Universal Pictures secret agent film of the same name? And this looks very much like it was written by somebody that I forgot to credit, which I always hate doing. I apologize tremendously for whoever sent this question in that I am not crediting. I will try and find you here in my email while they're thinking, but I'm betting I won't because I delete the questions after I put them on the page.
So we're locked in again.
Locked in.
With this, so.
All right, so Rachel and Alex, it sounds like Josh and Steve locked in first, so you guys can talk.
Oh, yeah. So, no, I knew that this was the James Bond movie. Alex knew the name of the James Bond movie. It's a very boring title for a James Bond movie. Mm-hmm. It was like if a James Bond movie name generator came up with a name for a James Bond movie, it would be this.
And that title is?
Alex?
We said No Time to Die.
No Time to Die. All right. And then Josh and Steve?
Yep. We also said No Time to Die. It seems like this song came out years ago, but the movie was also delayed for years, so.
Your correct answer is No Time to Die. Good job. And I do wonder, you mentioned like a James Bond name generator. It's so true. If you throw the words time and kill and spy and die into a name generator with loose pronouns and conjunctions, it seems like you could have a pretty good James Bond name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's also, it's just so silly. No Time to Die. Well, okay, I'm sorry. Maybe we can schedule it next month, you know?
Like you could do the sequels, though. You could have First Time to Die, Second Time to Die, Third Time to Die. Now we've got a franchise.
But you only live twice.
That's what
I know.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Numbers are an important part of this name generator, too.
You die another day.
Yeah, we're going to have to die another day. I have no time to die right now.
No. But I do have a time to kill. So we're going to throw some John Grisham in there.
But I have a view to a kill.
Oh my God.
All right. Round 1, question 3. Your category is regrettable gifts. Regrettable gifts. And a shout out to John Speece for this question. Thank you, John. The tang and the bead are named parts of what items, usually found in a pair, that have led to more than their share of regrets? And I think maybe I didn't complete this. I meant to have the word parents in here. So have led parents to have more than their fair share of regrets. So the tang and the bead are the named parts of what's items, usually found in a pair, that have led parents to have more than their fair share of regrets.
That's not good, and I like that.
All right, let me circle it.
All right, Rachel and Alex are locked in. Josh and Steve, you can talk out loud.
Yeah, so when I hear tang, a knife or a sword comes to mind.
Yep.
But the comes in pairs is what's throwing me off. I mean, could it be like daggers?
Let's give our kids some daggers to play with. I think that's...
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's...
No, that's kind of throwing me off too. I'm assuming bead is BEAD, and I'm not.
Yeah, I know with knives, like people talk about having like a full tang. I also think of the sugary drink when I hear tang. So.
Yep. So I'm going to look at it this from the other method and say, okay, what might parents regret? And it's usually something that's very messy or something that's loud. And even though I've never played this, I think maybe drums. Drumsticks.
As soon as you said that, I thought drums. And I can't see a parent gifting a dagger or a knife to each other.
Drumsticks come in a pair. I don't know if there's two definitive parts of the drumstick. I don't know what they're called, but could that be the tang and the bead?
Oh, the bead could be like the top of the drumstick.
The little top of the part,
The little knob on the top there.
I don't know. Rachel's giving us looks here. I don't know.
I'm not. No.
Oh no.
I'm just react. I react. I don't, but it doesn't mean anything. I will hide my face though.
I really like drumsticks.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything better. I think,
Yeah, now bead is that's ringing a bell in the back of my mind with being associated with drumsticks.
Okay, so
I like it.
Let's lock in with drumsticks.
All right, Josh and Steve went with drumsticks. Rachel and Alex, talk to me.
I have a few friends who play the drums, and I'm pretty sure that the bead is the little head of the drumstick, and the tang is the actual shaft. And no parent wants to gift their kids a pair of drums, so we said drumsticks.
All right, both teams locked in with drumsticks. It would help you to know that John Spees is a musician, and this is drumsticks. That is correct.
Nice.
And I am trusting John tremendously here because it's hard to look up tang and bead drumsticks. You don't just get, I'm like, which one is which? It's like, it's so hard to find. But John says it's true, and he plays drums, so I'm going to go with him. Both teams get the 10 points. And at the end of the first round, it's 30-30. You'd taken some time to think about it, but you're coming up with the right answers. All right, round 2, question 1. Your category is business.
Business time.
The 80s might have been the high watermark for Saturday morning cartoons. Strawberry Shortcake, the Care Bears, Popples, and Lady Lovelylocks were all created by what company that is also the second largest greeting card producer in the world behind Hallmark cards?
What were the names again, Jonathan?
The cartoons I gave you were Strawberry Shortcake, the Care Bears, Popples, and Lady Lovelylocks.
Okay, I think we are locked in.
All right, Rachel and Alex have locked in. Steve and Josh, you could talk it out.
Yeah, gift cards aren't my thing, and even though I'm a child of the 80s, I never really watched any of those shows that Jonathan mentioned. I was, busy watching Saturday afternoon cartoons, G.I. Joe, Voltron.
Yeah, and I know, I used to watch the USA Cartoon Express, Choo Choo, but
love that.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I never really focused in on who actually made the cartoons. I think there was a company called DIC that made some of them.
So if we were to try and go from the second largest greeting card company behind Hallmark, I mean, that's what comes to mind, because I don't have much there either. I think there's something called like American National Card, or I feel it's something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from that angle too. I'm one of the people that goes into CVS and just grabs a card and doesn't even really read it. If it says like mom and birthday, it's good enough for me. Real thoughtful, I know. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing better if you want to go with that.
Go with what? We don't have anything.
I thought that was a brand that you were saying.
American National Greeting Card.
Greeting cards, yeah. Because it wouldn't be like Hanna-Barbera or any of those.
Much like the James Bond, do they have like a generator that just throws in words and comes out something? So, National Greeting Card Company. American National Greeting Card Company.
Yeah, I got nothing better.
Okay, well, word generator says American National Greeting Card Company.
All right. Alex and Rachel, what were you thinking?
American Greetings is the only other really big card company that I can think of.
Yeah, she typed that in. I said, sounds good. Let's go with it.
All right. Your correct answer is the parent company of card brands like Carlton Cards, Tender Thoughts, Just For You, and Gibson brands. It is American Greetings Corporation. That is correct. Good job.
Nice job,
Good job.
I did also spend a little over a year working at a bookstore buying greeting cards as one of my job responsibilities. But
that does help, I think.
It's an in. It's an in.
I'm surprised nobody guessed Shoebox. I thought somebody might guess Shoebox as a card brand.
Oh, yeah. That might be a subsidiary, though.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
But I didn't think of, yeah.
All right.
Shoebox doesn't fit with Strawberry Shortcake or Care Bears either.
Well, you never, I mean, American Greetings is a pretty big company. I was on their Wikipedia page and I didn't take time to like dig, but they have a relationship as well with Nickelodeon for the rights to different characters, I believe. So there's quite a few different pots that they have their hands in.
That also makes sense when you think about when you go and buy like a child's birthday card, you're going to, you see rows and rows with different characters like Disney characters or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or anything. So yeah, it makes sense. They build those relationships.
I was laughing to myself. I intentionally looked for cartoons that would be more of the things that traditionally female roles would have been watching in the 80s. And as Josh was thinking it out, he's like, yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of cartoons in the 80s, but I don't remember watching any of these. And I'm laughing to myself. All right. Well, we're going to go to round 2, question 2, and your category is landmarks. What large monument was built to honor those who fought and died for France during the French Revolution and Napoleonic Wars? It has the names of all French victories and generals during those times inscribed on its inner and outer surfaces.
Let's lock in. We're going to lock in.
All right. Let's do it.
Steven, I'm good with your answer. I think that's correct.
Okay, yeah. So, what I was thinking. So, I've been to France on a trip. Thinking of large monuments, obviously you have the Eiffel Tower, which I know is a World's Fair creation, and then I thought of the Arc de Triomphe, which I know has names inscribed on it. I don't recall which names, but Arc of Triumph, French Revolution. That sounded good to us, so we locked in with Arc de Triomphe.
We did the same. I believe that's where they have their memorial for the unknown soldier. I remember seeing something about that. I've never been to France and would love to go. But yeah, we locked in with the exact same thing.
Oh, you both said Arc de Triomphe. That means both of you are correct. It does stand at the end of the impossible for me to pronounce Champs-Élysées. I don't know how to say that.
Oh, Champs-Élysées. Da, 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 da. Oh, Champs-Élysées.
Nice. We got a little musical act here. I love it. Speaking of music, your third question in the second round is a category of lyrics. Please identify this hit from the year 2000 that contains the following lyrics. That's right, it is the year 2000. Gonna tell her that I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. I've been listening to your reasoning. It makes no sense at all. We should tell her that I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. Those are your lyrics. Oh, and shout out to the Bonus Brigade. I will give you 2 extra points if you can name both credited artists on the song. There are 2 credited artists on the song. So, Bonus Brigade, you will get 2 extra points. Nice. You'll get 2 extra points if you can name both credited artists.
So is this just a hit or is it a mega hit?
It's a hit. It's a hit.
Does that mean also yes, mega hit?
No, not for me. I define things differently than the others, apparently. I will tell you, it did hit number 1 in the U.S. I will also tell you that it's a primary artist featuring another artist. So it's not 2 primary artists.
Jonathan, did it originally come out in 2000?
As far as I know, yes. Let me double check for you. It's it was released in 2000.
Okay.
You guys have 2 minutes.
Oh dear.
30 seconds. All right, I need you guys to lock in some answers. It's time to put up or shut up.
I think we're going to shut up.
Oh, no. It's better to make a guess than have no guess at all.
All right. You want to go with the last thing you said, Alex, or the first thing I said? I think they're both wrong.
Yeah.
I think we're just wrong.
All right, Josh and Steve, are you guys locked in?
We're locked in-ish. Yeah, we got an answer.
All right, well then that's going to be final for you guys. Rachel and Alex, I need an answer in the next 10 seconds.
All right. I don't think it's right. Miss Jackson?
Miss Jackson by Outkast, okay?
By Outkast.
Josh and Steve, what was your answer?
So we had struggled with this. We said Beyonce, Jay-Z, we're thinking Eminem. But I know that this duo was big at the time with Miss Jackson because we said Outkast.
Yep.
Apparently there's a sound that is resonating for both of you. I'm going to go ahead and sing this, and I wonder if my ability to sing will help you or even leave you further away.
Oh, no, you have a beautiful voice.
Not for this, I don't imagine. And I've never sang it before either, so. Gonna tell her that I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. I've been listening to your reasoning, it makes no sense at all. We should tell her that I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. You may think that you're a player, but you're completely lost. Nobody's getting there.
It's tickling something.
Yeah.
I am completely lost, though.
Honey came in and she caught me red-handed, creeping with the girl next door.
Oh, no, we talked about that.
Yeah, Shaggy's giving advice that's terrible, and this is the bridge. This is Rick Rock, the other answer to the bonus, basically saying, no, your advice is terrible. It makes no sense at all. I'm going to tell her I'm sorry.
That's not fair. You can barely understand Shaggy.
This isn't Shaggy. This is Rick Rock singing. This is the singing part.
Yeah. We did actually. We actually talked about that in the chat, and we said, "Nah, that's not it."
Shaggy featuring Rick Rock is the answer. I didn't think that was going to be a stumper, but it was. Oh, no.
Oh, God. It's because I've been trying for the past 22 years to not listen to that song.
I despise that song. You know?
It gets into your head. It gets into your head, and it's like mold. You can't get it out.
My
easy.
Goodness.
His name
is Shaggy, not Furry. I don't. That's mold. A strong statement. Fuzzy.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that song is 21 years old too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the baby that they made in Confessions is also an adult now. For Usher.
My God.
I have no idea. I'm just that just occurred to me.
That's
it's like,
hilarious.
Confessions Part 2. I wonder if that's 20 years old. I bet that kid would be an adult.
I can't. Oh man.
Okay, so at the end of the second round, the score is 50-40. Rachel and Alex have a 10-point lead.
Hey.
Round 3, question 1. Your category is classic TV. This is kind of an old chestnut of a question, the kind of thing that I might have answered when I started playing trivia in the early 2000s or so. Al Lewis and Fred Gwynne are part of every Gen Xer's childhood memories from their roles as Grandpa and Herman on reruns of The Munsters. The two also appeared together from 1961 to 1963 in what television show?
Jonathan, can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Al Lewis and Fred Gwynne are part of every Gen Xer's childhood memories from their roles as Grandpa and Herman on reruns of The Munsters. The two also appeared together from 1961 to 1963 on what television show?
What's the name of the category, Jonathan?
Classic TV.
Are you allowed to tell us if the 1961 to 1963, if that was the entire run of that show?
I can tell you that it is the entire run of the show.
Okay.
How specific do we have to be, Jonathan?
I need the title of the show. The full title of the show.
Okay, that makes sense. So, Steve, if you're good with that first answer, I think we can lock in.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think the other ones we talked about might have had too long of a TV run.
All right, so we're good.
All right, Josh and Steve are locked in. Rachel and Alex can talk.
Okay. Well,
Oh, no.
I know. This is one, and I'm going to kick myself when we hear the answer. So first thing that came to my mind was Dragnet, but I'm not sure if the timing works out for that. But I'm thinking maybe it's some kind of like a cop show. And Alex, you don't have to message me. You could just tell me.
Yeah. Alex, talk, baby. Talk. Alex is our quietest person of this group. You do your thinking in here and not out loud, which is interesting.
Yeah, so Rachel said cop show, so I put out Dragnet, Hawaii Five-0, LAPD, Chips.
Something. I mean, maybe or maybe it's a Western. That would have been. Gunsmoke ran for too long.
Bonanza ran for too long.
Yeah.
The Love Boat. Gilligan's
The
Island.
Love Boat. Exciting and new.
Yeah. Do you want to say Dragnet? I don't
Sure.
Yeah, it's two people. It's two guys solving crimes. Just the facts. Could have been around then.
It's Starsky and Hutch. Those are two guys solving crimes.
Yeah, I always get Starsky and Hutch confused with Turner and Hooch.
Hooch is a dog.
I know.
Okay, just making sure.
I know, but Starsky and Hooch.
Who got the Hooch?
All right, let's do Dragnet.
All right, let's do Dragnet.
All
Locking
right.
in Dragnet.
Rachel and Alex have locked in with Dragnet. Steve and Josh, what were you guys thinking?
So we were on the premise that it's some sort of cop show as well. And we threw out a couple names. Dragnet was one of them. But I remember two cop shows in particular. One was Adam 12, I think, which I don't think quite fit. The other one, it tickled my brain, and that was Car 54, Where Are You? And I think that's a complete title. So that's why I asked how specific we had to be. If we could just say Car 54 or Car 54, Where Are You? So we're going to lock in with Car 54, Where Are You?
When you think about Al Lewis and Fred Gwynne, it is important to remember that they're both comedic actors in most of their TV shows, like The Munsters. And so Dragnet would be more of a serious show, but a cop show that is also a comedy would be Car 54, Where Are You? That is correct.
Good job, Josh.
Nice job.
Good job. That's some old TV right there. I remember.
Good thing I'm old.
That's the kind of thing like my dad would talk about. Oh, I loved that show when I was growing up. You know. So just so you know, the other main star of the show is Joe Ross, and Joe Ross was actually Fred Gwynne's partner in the car, and he's the guy that says, "Oh, oh." I don't know if that rings a bell for you, but just that sound for saying "oh, oh," that is a very famous sound, and that's Joe Ross.
Yeah. I just think of, wasn't there like a theme like Car 54, Where Are You?
Yeah, there's definitely it ends with them yelling. It's like Car 54, Where are you? Like that kind of thing. All right, so we had one team get credit, and that was important. Very cool. Okay, round 3, question 2. Your category is mythology. Myths.
Okay.
Here's a question from prolific trivia writer Rob Warman. Thank you, Mr. Warman. All right, according to Norse mythology, the Norse god Odin is served by a pair of ravens with slightly rhyming names who spy on the world on his behalf. Name either of these birds. Just so you know, I will accept the non-rhyming English translation of their names as well. That could be an acceptable answer. And shout out to the Bonus Brigade. I will give you 2 bonus points if you can name both of the Ravens. Josh, for you guys listening, Josh looks like he thinks he knows it, but just cannot get it to come out of the back of his mind. It's one of those just in the very back of his head, and it's killing him right now.
I just learned all the members of Wu-Tang Clan, and that might have pushed the Odin's Ravens out of it.
Yes. The Ravens on Odin's shoulder, RZA and Jizza. Yes.
I was the first thing that came to my mind was Waka and Flocka, but we're not. That's not our answer. We're still talking it out.
No, those are seagulls. Yes, those are Thor's seagulls. Waka and Flocka. Flocka seagulls. Also Fozzie's seagulls. Waka and Waka. Waka Waka.
We are going to lock in.
Rachel and Alex are locked in. Steve and Josh, you're up.
Annoying. All right, so Steve, I mean, we've got a good chat going.
Yeah.
I think it's something like what we talked about. I feel Huggins, and it is when you put it in Muggin, that rhymes.
Yeah, and that's just because for some reason I can't get Muggle Harry Potter out of my head, and I don't know if that's just a stream of my consciousness going somewhere else, or if that's like tugging at something in my mind.
Could J.K. Rowling's inspiration? That's maybe we should have got it from. Yeah,
and I mean we talked about, or I mentioned, there's Romulus and Remus, but that's outside of that mythology.
Yeah, I've been just Hungin. I think it is Huggin, Muggin. I'm not
Huggin and Tuggin.
Huggin and
oh, that's something else.
Yikes!
Leave that out.
Zoinks!
I think that was in the Shaggy song also.
I think we could go with Huggin as a correct answer, and then Muggin as the bonus, and see what they say.
Is it is the answer 1 or 2?
Yeah, we just needed 1, right?
You
Jonathan?
just need 1, but if you get both, you get a bonus.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, then I mean, if that one came to your mind, then yeah, that works.
It didn't come to my mind. It just slowly crept in there.
I need an answer from you guys.
All right, yeah, okay. So we'll say Huggin is our answer, and we'll go with Muggin as a bonus.
All right, Rachel and Alex, what did you guys say?
Oh, this hurt. This really hurt. So I listen to Trivia Warfare when I take my dog on a walk.
Good time to do it.
I usually get 2 episodes per walk, and I'm going through the backlog. And this was
2 episodes per walk.
That's a long walk.
For like 4-hour walks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we do. It's about 5.5 miles a day. So I'm going through the backlog, and this question
definitely has been around in the past.
Definitely has been around in the past, and all I can remember is Ben laughing because he said something really funny. Think it's 2 syllables, and like the last syllable is an So we said Menhir, Menir, as our primary, and then Dormir as our bonus.
Okay. One team is going to get 10 points. The correct answers, pronunciation doesn't matter. Hugin and Moonin are the Ravens' names, so you will get credit for Huggin, Hugginn, Hugin and Moonin. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was
painful.
That was challenging, y'all.
That. Oh.
All right. Round 3, question 3. Your category is music.
We're going to get this one.
With nice job there. With 7 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, what song, a collaboration with Babyface on her Bedtime Stories album in 1995, was Madonna's longest-running number 1 hit ever on the Billboard Hot 100 chart? Oh, by the way, Hugin and Moonin are thought and memory. That's the English words.
So you said it was a collaboration with Babyface?
I did, yes.
And you said 7 weeks at number 1?
7 weeks at number 1.
Dang.
The reason this became a question is, how is it possible that nobody knows Madonna's biggest hit?
Okay, we're going to put ourselves out of our misery and lock in with an answer.
All right, Josh and Steve are locked in. Rachel and Alex, you got a couple minutes to talk about it.
Okay, so I never had this album, but I remember when it came out. I remember it was, all of these songs from that time were playing on MTV all the time. So I'm trying to think what could have been a collaboration. And I think that was when the album that had Human Nature, and maybe La Isla Bonita, and This Used to Be My Playground. I think all of those are from around that time. Justify My Love was a big deal, but that was banned from MTV. I don't know if that was the one I think that was banned from MTV for having too spicy a music video. I feel like that might have had Lenny Kravitz on it. I don't know, Alex. I know he said, Alex, she's like, I'm just going to nod and root for you.
Well, at least you have his support.
I do. I don't remember anything that was a collaboration with Babyface. Maybe I don't remember it because it wasn't on MTV that much. So maybe it was Justify My Love. What do you think?
I think if it's banned, I think that will definitely get more people to want to go out and buy it. So
yeah, maybe.
Just to see what all the fuss is about, that could have bumped it up.
Yeah. God, I hope I'm right that that's even the right album. All right.
I need an answer.
Justify My Love.
All right. Rachel and Alex say Justify My Love. Josh and Steve, what did you guys lock in with?
So mid-90s Madonna is my weak spot. And I know this because I think on one of the other times I was on Trivial Warfare, I got a mid-90s Madonna question. It was concerning her number 1 album. I got that wrong too as well. But the answer that I gave is the answer that I'm giving now. I remember this song kind of being around that time. I kind of remember the video being on MTV. And we went with Ray of Light.
Okay.
I don't think it's Die Another Day from James Bond. I think we covered that section.
One team answered Ray of Light. The other team answered Justify My Love. The correct answer is Take a Bow. Take a Bow. 7 weeks at number 1. This little bit of information here. This was her 11th single to top the Hot 100 and the 9th where she had a writing credit. That writing credit with 9 broke Carole King's 30-year record as the female songwriter with the most number 1 hits as a songwriter. So Madonna broke that record with Take a Bow.
Which is a pretty boring song.
Well, you heard the song then, so there's something.
I have heard the song, and it's totally, I mean, compared to her other work, Ray of Light, I think, was later. That was... Yeah,
we thought it was a little too early.
Yeah. Because I remember that came out in high school when I was, just associated memories.
All right, well, at the end of the 3rd round, Steve and Josh have taken a lead, 60. Rachel and Alex got stumped in that round. They have 50. It is now 60-50.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, we're going into the midpoint. The midpoint of today's game has the category of Disney movies.
Oh, finally.
Disney movies. Here we go. Walt Disney Animation Studios went on a huge run creating all-time classic animated movies in the 1950s. I want you to tell me the names of the 5 all-time classics released in the 1950s. These are all, they released 5 movies in the 50s. Every one of them is an all-time classic. To make it easier, I will give you the years of release. You do not have to match the year to the movie, but if you do happen to get all 5 in the right order of release from earliest to latest, I will give you 2 bonus points. Shout out to the bonus brigade. Here we go. Your years are 1950, 1951, 1953, 1955, and 1959. 50, 51, 53, 55, 59. 5 movies, all classics.
All classics. Okay.
You guys have about a minute and a half-ish left. I need you to start circling around some answers here.
All right. Yeah, I think we're locked in.
All right. We got a lock in from Rachel and Alex, Josh and Steve. You don't really have any time left. I need you to go ahead and share your answers with me.
You want to lead, Steve?
Yeah. So we kind of started naming out Disney movies that were a little bit older. So on our first go, we came up with Sleeping Beauty. We came up with Bambi. We came up with Lady and the Tramp, Peter Pan. And then we, at the last second, we had another answer, which was Alice in Wonderland. And we were kind of figuring out if that might fit into our list there. And so we thought that maybe Snow White was a little bit earlier than the 50s. So we ended up sliding Alice in Wonderland in there. So we went with, in order, Cinderella, Bambi, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and finally Lady and the Tramp.
All right. Thank you very much. Rachel and Alex, tell me about your answer.
You want to take this one, Alex?
Yeah, sure. So I am a huge Disney guy. I collect Disneyland Matterhorn collectibles for a living.
Oh.
So
for a living?
Or not for a living.
My goodness.
Yeah, I get not a lot of money in those. So Disneyland opened in 1957, so I'm going back to the Fantasyland. So we have Snow White. That's too early. That was in the 30s. There's Peter Pan. So we said Peter Pan. There's a Wind in the Willows ride. And I'm like, well, that's not a classic. So we immediately discounted that. And there is Casey Jr.'s Train from Dumbo. So we had Peter Pan and Dumbo. The castle in Disneyland is a Sleeping Beauty castle. So we said Sleeping Beauty. Alice in Wonderland was an add-on to Fantasyland, but I think it was added on in 1959 alongside the Matterhorn. So we said Alice in Wonderland. And then finally, to round out the list, we said Cinderella. So Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland, and Peter Pan.
All right. Nobody gets the bonus. Your correct answers. In 1950, Cinderella. In 1951, Alice in Wonderland. In 1953, Peter Pan. In 1955, Lady and the Tramp. And in 1959, Sleeping Beauty. Both teams got 4 out of 5 correct for 16 points each. Good job. All right. After the midpoint, the score is 76 for Josh and Steve to 66 for Alex and Rachel. Hey, everybody. That is the end of the first half. And before we go to the second half, I want to let you know that today's show has a new sponsor in the house. That's right. We are sponsored today by Every Plate. I'm so excited to be partnering with Every Plate again because I genuinely like their service. I like the food that they send when I get the box, and it has the little box inside with the onions and potatoes and the different seasoning. And then the meats are packaged and they come cold and they're kept with some kind of like space age stuff in there that keeps it all frozen at your door so there's no kind of problems. It's a really good feeling. I know that I'm going to be able to make really delicious food in 30 minutes or so. And it's hearty. You know, it's like a real meal. It's not, hey, let me see what I can throw together. Okay, Sebastian, here's 2 pieces of ham on a couple of pieces of bread. There's your dinner. That's what I did last night, by the way, because I didn't have any Every Plate left. So that wasn't too great. But if I'd had every plate, it would have been perfect because I had enough time. I could have just whipped it together and it'd be fantastic. You know, even at full price, every plate is 50% cheaper than grocery shopping for the same stuff. 50%. And you don't have to go to the grocery store. It's a win-win. It makes it easy to save money. Using the tools they provide, you can choose between 17 recipes each week, and they change all the time. You can swap out your proteins. You can choose different veggies or sides. You can make it work for you. It's easy and affordable. Easy and affordable. Easy and affordable to cook real food. And it's cheaper than the grocery store. I love it. I love every plate, guys. It's really freaking good. So you can try every plate for just $1.79 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering code TWA179. Now that's important. It's not TWA. It is TWA179. That is the code for this deal. Give it a try today. I think you're going to find out that you can cook better than you think because they give you really easy instructions, and B, you're going to realize that you can use this to save money. So, everyplate.com, code TWA179. Lowercase, by the way. I don't know if it matters, but lowercase TWA. Today's show is also sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the service that you need to be using if you want to get access to licensed professional counselors at a reasonable price via your phone, your computer, or any other remote tool that you use so that you don't have to go sit in an office surrounded by people who you may or may not know what they've been doing. There's that guy sneezing in the corner. He won't stop sneezing. It's uncomfortable sometimes to be out in public nowadays. With BetterHelp, you don't have to. You can get everything you need right at home to improve things in your life. You can achieve happiness. You can fight off depression. You can talk to somebody about anxiety or relationships or grief or LGBT matters. Guys, there are counselors all over the U.S. who are ready to talk to you. You're not limited to just the people in your area. If you live in a rural place in the middle of the country and you need to talk to somebody about LGBT matters, then BetterHelp might be a great solution for you. Not only is it convenient, but it's confidential. This isn't a crisis line. This is engagement with a counselor throughout your week and month. You can see them once a week. You can see them once a month. You can send them a message every day, and they're going to respond. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to, you know? BetterHelp can be that for you. I want you to start living a happier life. You can do it now. As a listener of Trivial Warfare, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/TWA. There's over 1 million people who have already done this. They've taken charge of their mental health. In fact, there's so many people doing it that BetterHelp is recruiting counselors in all 50 states. They need more people because there's so many people who are finding this valuable. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TWA. All right, let's get on with the second half of today's game. Well, then we're moving into round 4, where your first category is going to be language.
Okay. This is for 3 points, right? Because that's what we need. I'm sorry.
No, you need 10 points for sure.
No.
I did say 76 to 66, right?
Yes, I know. That was, yeah. Yes, you did. 3 points would be nice.
All right, here we go. I'm missing the joke here.
Nice.
Actually, the 66.
Ah, yes. Yes.
And you get
sorry,
nice.
I'm sorry.
I need
No,
people to explain their perversions to me. No.
Oh, I know. You're so proper and staid.
Yes, we know that's
I'm
not
sorry.
true. I just wasn't looking at numbers. Okay, language. Here we go. What word is derived from the Chinese word for a ritual performed by commoners who would kneel and touch their head to the ground as a salute or an act of worship to an authority?
I think we're locked in.
Ooh, that was fast.
Oh.
All right, Josh and Steve, you can talk it out.
think we could have used a hint, but I don't know. We'll see. Steve, what do you got?
Well, so as far as, kind of the bowing, the two things that immediately popped into my head were genuflecting and curtsying, but that's not really a bow. It's funny because I spent 2 weeks backpacking in China, and I managed to not pick up any Chinese whatsoever.
I came up with curtsy as well. I don't feel that really fits. The other one, which is kowtow, and I don't know if that really fits the clues. I don't know, Jonathan, can you repeat the question again?
I can. What word is derived from the Chinese word for a ritual performed by commoners who would kneel and touch their head to the ground as a salute or an act of worship to an authority?
All right, so word derived. I know kowtow is something that you do, bowing, putting your head on the ground. It kind of fits the motion.
Yeah, it kind of fits out of everything we said, that seems like it would be more derived from an Asian language than the others.
Yeah, I'm just worried that we're missing something. I don't know, that they came in so quick.
They came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, but I'm fine with it if you want to lock this in.
Yeah, I have nothing else. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so we'll say kowtow.
All right, Josh and Steve locked in with kowtow. Rachel and Alex, what were you thinking?
We locked in with kowtow.
Why was that?
Because it has the correct definition for what you described, and linguistically it sounds like that would be a proper derivation for that word.
I see. So just straight logic. It's like, yeah, no, that sounds right. We got it. Let's do it.
Yeah?
Well,
she said kowtow, ? I said, yep. And we were locked in.
If I had given you a hint, my hint would have said, there's nothing in the origin of the word that relates to any types of large mammals, because the answer is kowtow. That's well done by both teams.
Good job.
There was also a possible hint on the drumstick answer about animals as well. But didn't get used. All right, moving on to the second question in round 4. Your category is sports.
Sport ball.
Alyssa Nakin made history as the first woman to coach on a major league staff for the San Francisco Giants last year. The New York Yankees recently named Rachel Balkovic as a manager in their farm system. Tell me, what NL Central team has hired Caitlin Callahan as a developmental coach, making her the first female in-uniform coach in Major League Baseball history? You guys have a minute and a half left.
Okay. Jonathan, Steve and I are locked in. Yeah.
All right, over to Rachel and Alex. You can talk out loud. You got about a minute.
Do you have any gut feelings about this?
No. If it was the Brewers, I think I'd hear about it in the local news. So I don't think it's the Brewers.
Let's discount that. I do remember hearing about this. I remember hearing an interview with her because she was very open about how she has been pretty much working her ass off her whole career, and time after time not given opportunities because she's a woman, and that when she changed her name to just her initials, she got interviewed until they found out that she was a woman and that didn't get any job. So I remember this was a big deal, and she was very open about the discrimination she had faced up to this point. I really, really wish I remembered what team it was. I would love to pull a Jonathan right now.
Hey, it's possible. It's a multiple choice question.
I know. And I kind of have a good feeling about the Royals, but I don't know. Would you have heard if it was the Royals?
No, probably not. But Royals are Central.
Yeah.
And when I say Central, I mean Central U.S. I have no idea who's in the NL Central.
You don't know which? Yeah, I don't know the leagues.
I'm fine with Royals.
All right.
Good old KC Royals. All right, we'll lock it in.
All right, Josh and Steve, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I think we're able to at least get the National League Central teams. So we think that's the Cardinals, the Reds, the Brewers, the Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So from there, at least we had a 20% chance of picking one right. So what we were kind of thinking was one of these teams also has another team in the same state, which is Pennsylvania, and the Phillies are in the NL East, and the Pirates are in the Central. And due to some discussion about, which league we were talking about, I think Josh and I settled on going with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Your correct answer is the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Nice.
Good job.
Really
Nice
good job out of you two.
Yeah.
So, guys, the Royals are Central. They're the American League Central. That was the thing.
All right.
I didn't realize it's one of those things where just because you know something, you assume and forget that other people don't know the same things you know. So I'm thinking it's multiple choice. It's not multiple choice at all, and I felt bad about saying it afterwards, so I'm sorry.
Well, it is multiple choice, just a larger field.
Yeah, out of 30, whatever.
Out of 30.
All right, round 4, question 3. Your category is home goods. What is the name of the item found in people's homes that is placed between a serving dish and the table to protect the table from heat damage? I will give you a hint if you both want it.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
no,
sure.
we're locked in.
Rachel and Alex are locked in.
Yeah.
Josh and
Okay.
Steve, you got to do it based on only what I've given you.
All right, Steve. Platter comes to mind. I know what we're talking about.
Yep. Platter, placemat, doily, coaster.
I think doily and coaster are technically too small, right?
Yep, I would agree.
I don't know. With placemat, is that too generic?
It might be.
Well, Jonathan, can you repeat the question?
I certainly can. What is the name for the item found in your home that is found in most homes that is placed between a serving dish and the table to protect the table from heat damage?
I know exactly what he's talking about. I can picture it in my mind. I just didn't know there was a specific name for it.
Well, he said item, and not necessarily a dish or anything like that. So, placemat does fit it.
Yeah, because I know that when we put like casserole dishes out that are hot, there's either these little like silicone mats, or there's also like a little like ceramic type rack thing that you put on that we put the dishes on. I don't know that there's a specific name for it that I can pull.
Just to be clear, so there's no reasons to argue it later, I want to point out that this item will typically be made of metal, wood, or some other hard material.
So it is not a placemat.
Yeah,
Rachel and Alex, that doesn't change your answer, does it?
No.
It doesn't.
Okay.
But I'm not sure that that's a correct description either. I think it could be made out of other materials too.
It can. I didn't say that it was exclusive.
Okay.
Because technically placemat could be arguable, and I don't want to argue about it.
Got it.
Understood. Okay, so that brings us down to absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I can think of like cooling racks and very generic things. And like I said, I can picture this item. I know exactly what it is. I just didn't know there was a name for it. Yeah, cooling rack is the best thing I can think of.
We're going to know this, I feel, but for the sake of brevity, we can just say cooling plate, cooling platter.
Yeah. All right, locked in with cooling platter.
All right, Rachel and Alex, I am interested to hear what you've gone with.
Well, so every time I set the table as a kid, my mother always told me to put out the trivets. So I said trivet.
All right, a
As soon as
trivet.
she said it, the light bulb went off.
And if a hint had been asked for, the hint would have been, the answer rhymes with the name of the animal that eats and excretes coffee beans that are then selected as a delicacy, because that animal is a civet, and this thing is a trivet. Nice job.
Good
Job.
Yeah, I have an owl-shaped trivet, and I had a couple of different ones that I put out for I have a wooden table that my mother gave me. It's been in her family for many, many years, and I need to protect it. And I was just looking at these metal things, and I'm like, I bet these have a name. What's the name for these things? Oh, yeah, that's going to be a trivia question.
Yeah. Ours were always made out of thick yarn that my mother's aunties all knitted.
Sure.
Yeah.
We had, when I was a kid, we had some made out of almost like a flexible bamboo material. It's hard to describe, but for sure. All right, at the end of the fourth round, that was an important get for Alex and Rachel. They now have 86 points. Steve and Josh have 96 points. It's 96 to 86. And the first category in round 5 is literature.
Literature.
Shout out to Clint Givens for this question. I want you to identify the book title from the following brief excerpt. So I'm going to read you a quote from the book, and I want you to tell me what the book was. Quote, "She opened her notebook very carefully, watching their eyes as she did. They watched her back. She wrote, in all caps, 'Oh, golly is right. Sometimes you have to lie.'" End quote. Oh golly is OLEGOLLY.
Did it say in caps in the quote, or were you explaining to us that it was written in caps?
It's written in all capital letters, starting with "Oh golly is right. Sometimes you have to lie." Those are all capital letters.
Okay, but that wasn't part of the quote. That was just...
No, it's not part of the quote.
Okay. Could you say it again without that?
Mm-hmm. She opened her notebook very carefully, watching their eyes as she did. They watched her back. She wrote, "Oh, golly is right. Sometimes you have to lie."
And you're looking for the title of the book?
Mm-hmm. Would the two teams like a hint?
I do want a hint.
Yes.
Hold on. I'm fairly confident in my answer, Steve.
Yeah, the one that I'm throwing out there is just some things about the book that I know are true, but I don't have any confidence that that's that quote.
Let's lock in.
All right, Josh and Steve are locked in, refusing the clue. Rachel and Alex, you can start talking. You have a little bit of time left.
So we're trying to figure out if it's a girl. It seems to me like maybe this is something from a young woman or a girl standing in front of some sort of group of people, presumably people. And I was thinking To Kill a Mockingbird, but neither of us remember a golly in that book. It's something we don't know then. Do you want to say Wrinkle in Time, since neither of us read it, and that has a young female protagonist and she's learning lessons? That's what I know about it.
Sure. Wrinkle in Time.
All right, they said A Wrinkle in Time. Josh and Steve, what did you guys settle on and why?
So we kind of bandied back and forth, not really positive. We threw out Harriet the Spy as a possibility because, Steve pointed out she was always writing in a notebook. But yeah, I don't think that Oh Golly would be something Harriet would write. And that's kind of what I clued in on. An older novel, a nanny who was in charge of 2 kids, and we came up with Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Which kind of fits the frame.
I can tell you that if you had been given a hint, your hint would have been that Old Golly is the name of the title character's nanny. The correct answer is Harriet the Spy.
Dang it. That was the first thing I thought of,
Steve,
too.
I'm sorry.
I had no confidence. I just remember Notebook and tomato sandwiches from that book.
So, this is a book by Louise Fitzhugh in 1964. Old Golly told Harriet that if anyone ever reads her spy notebook, quote, "You'll have to do 2 things. You don't like either one of them. 1, you have to apologize. 2, you have to lie. Otherwise, you're going to lose a friend."
Dang.
All right. Nobody gets credit, but I loved that question, Clint. Thank you so much. Round 5, question 2. Your category is crossword clues. And shout out to Matthew Burris for this question.
Thank you, Matthew.
10 down. What do you call a person who creates and solves crossword puzzles? 14 letters. And I will give you a hint if both teams want, but only if both teams want.
I think we can lock in.
All right, Rachel and Alex have locked in. Josh and Steve can talk, and there has been a lack of selection of clues in this game, which is interesting. A clue probably would have saved 10 points for Josh and Steve in the last question.
Yeah.
Man, my girlfriend's going to kill me because she actually goes to the National Crossword Tournament every year. with Will Shortz from the New York Times. So,
So she may, in fact, be one of this word.
but yes, potentially. Actually, she has created some.
Then she is this. So for Steve, the question is truly, what is my girlfriend? You better not miss it, Steve.
I don't know. My stepmother is an alien.
Oy.
So they're locked in?
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, what do we think? It's something that ends with file, maybe?
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I know that Will Shortz, who's the editor of Crosswords New York Times, actually created his own degree in college because he was all about creating puzzles. It escapes me exactly what that was.
I'm trying to write down like 14-letter.
Puzzology. Jonathan, did you say how many letters it was?
14 letters.
14, okay.
Correct, Jonathan?
Yes, that's right.
14 letters.
So whenever that I've been watching the tournaments, I don't know how many letter it is. I better write it down. But they always call them as the constructors. And I can't remember if that was part of the clue that was read or not.
There's a word for crosswords, like crosstastics. I think I'm mixing that up with what we're trying to get to. I've got so many of these words running in my brain. I think like cryptological file, crypto something file.
I like where you're going with crypto.
Crustastic file.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to pull it. Like I said, whenever I watch them, I always refer to them as constructors, which doesn't fit this particular clue.
Crypto cofile. Crypto cus file. Crypto cus file.
Sure.
All right. With the wrong answer, we just crypto cus file.
All right. Rachel and Alex, what was your answer?
Alex knew this right away. And he said to him, like, oh, yeah. And then I start counting my fingers, like, yes, that's got to be it.
So I was riding a metro train into Chicago, and I was doing a crossword on my phone. And somebody sits next to me and looks at my phone and says, "Oh, a fellow cruciverbalist." I said, "What did you call me?" But I soon looked it up and figured it out that it's somebody who likes to solve crosswords. So we went with cruciverbalist.
Your clue would have been the answer has no relation to an unforgivable curse in the Harry Potter universe. The correct answer is cruciverbalist. Good job.
Good job. Huh?
Yeah. All Alex on that one.
Fantastic. All right, round 5. Question 3. Your category is same role. Same role. And shout out to KT Lindemann for this question. It was sent in as part of a proposed Warm It Up Chris a long time ago, and I pulled it out and made it its own question. I want you to tell me what real-life person was portrayed in major motion pictures by Denzel Washington in 1992 and by Mario Van Peebles in 2001. And shout out to the bonus brigade. I'll give you 2 bonus points if you can tell me what 2 movies the actors appeared in the role.
And when was the Mario Van Peebles movie?
2001.
And Jonathan, we get bonus if we name the movies?
That's exactly right.
Steve, I think we're good with our answers?
Yeah, I think we can lock those in.
Okay. We're set.
All right, Josh and Steve have locked in. Rachel and Alex, over to you.
So we are thinking, I remember Denzel, I'm pretty sure, played the Hurricane. And I think that movie was called The Hurricane. And it would make sense that Mario Van Peebles would play the same role because he's got that physique. And, the only other role around that time that I can think of where he'd play a real person was in Philadelphia. And I don't know that guy's name. I don't know if the timing's right, but I think we have to go with The Hurricane.
That is fine with me.
Okay. I think we have to go with that.
All right. Rachel is very tentatively locking in with The Hurricane. I believe his name is Reuben Carter. Josh and Steve, what were you thinking?
Oh no! I just got it. Oh no!
Sorry,
oh
Rachel.
No!
It's kind of an in between because they haven't said anything yet. Josh and Steve.
We got our answers. I think. You locked it already. We both hammered it on Malcolm X pretty quickly. Yeah. We came up with that. in terms of Denzel Washington being in the Spike Lee movie, and then Mario Van Peebles playing him in Will Smith's Ali movie, where the role was, he wasn't the main character. So we answered Malcolm X, and the two movies are Malcolm X and Ali.
The correct answers, Malcolm X in the movie Malcolm X, and Van Peebles was Malcolm X in the movie Ali. Josh and Steve, it's one of the first times I think we've given out the bonus points today. Great job. For y'all, I feel bad. Rachel, I think she figured it out like 5 to 10 seconds after locking in, and it's just like, no.
No, well, it was your reaction when she said, "Oh yeah, I think his name is Reuben Carter." I'm like, "Well, you would know if that's his name."
So then that wouldn't be fair. Then okay.
Oh crap! Now I know. It's like, that turned on the light bulb somehow. But yeah, no, you couldn't have given us credit for that.
All right. Well, at the end of the 5th round, Steve and Josh needed that 12 points to maintain a lead. They now have 108 to Rachel and Alex's 96. And round 6, question 1. Your first category is sports.
Sports.
Shout out to Tyler Ruthven for this question. But this is a heavy bonus brigade episode right here. Here we go. Gallaudet University, spelled Gallaudet. Gallaudet University, the first school in the U.S. for the deaf, is the creator of what technique used in football games to prevent opponents from stealing signs? And I will give you 2 bonus points if you can tell me the word popularized in the sport of rugby that is used interchangeably with the correct answer in some project management methodologies.
Yeah, Steve, I've got meow meows on this.
Oh, meow!
Yep.
It's been a while.
On both. Yep. So we can lock in.
All right.
Both answers.
Locked in. Rachel and Alex, talk to me.
Well, we were thinking of, is this answer too obvious? This is something I think I've heard before, that the huddle was invented by football players at Gallaudet. I think, and there's only one rugby adjacent word that I know offhand. So we have a guess for the bonus. Scrum.
So are you asking, or are these your answers?
I'm asking Alex if he's going to confirm that. Are we good with that?
Yeah. So my main concern was she said huddle. I'm like, that seems a little too obvious. But yeah, it definitely makes sense. So huddle, and then for a bonus, scrum.
All right, you say huddle and scrum. Josh and Steve, what were you saying?
Yeah, I knew huddle pretty much off the bat. I'd heard this before. Pretty common. And then having played rugby for many years, I was always a back. So, the scrum, the forwards were always looked down upon us backs because we never got into the scrum. We're always waiting for the ball. But scrum is our word as well.
Yep. And from project management, I know at times there was the morning huddle to go over a project. So that fits as well.
Also called a scrum meeting. The correct answer is a huddle.
I got a sports question.
You sure did. And I freaking love, I haven't heard it before, and I love it because this is an old situation, but they had to create a huddle because they were using hand signals because it was a school for the deaf. And so they were protecting against people looking at their hand signals. It is brilliant. And as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to ask it. So thank you to Tyler Ruthven for that question. That was great. Both team gets 12 points. Good job. Round 6, question 2. Your category is geography.
Geography.
Shout out to Joel Skelly for this question.
Thank you, Joel.
The People's Republic of China has land borders with 14 other countries. Of these 14, which country, typically considered Middle Eastern, shares the smallest border with China at only 47 miles long?
Jonathan, did you say traditionally called Middle East?
Yeah, I mean, you would say, if you look it up, it'll say it's a Middle Eastern company. Traditionally considered Middle Eastern.
Okay.
You guys locking in?
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Rachel and Alex are locked in. Josh and Steve, you got about a minute to talk.
Man. Yeah, Steve, we threw out a bunch of countries. I mean, we talked mostly in the stands, because I feel it's going to be Eastern. But yes, we really weren't sure. And then Steve threw out. What did you throw out, Steve?
Yeah, so I was kind of going on the angle of, you said traditionally Middle East. And so first thing that I think of when I hear Middle East is, the war in the Middle East. So, Iraq, Afghanistan. And I started wondering if Afghanistan might kind of come up against China, or whether or not like Pakistan and India and those countries there are kind of blocking the way for it. And I would imagine if it did touch China, it'd probably be a small border. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
I feel that, based on that logic, what Jonathan, the clue that he threw out, I think we should.
Okay.
I think we should go out because everything else would just be a guess.
Yeah, I was thinking, could that be one of those trivia questions where it's like everyone says it's the war in the Middle East, but it's really like right next to China sort of thing? All right. Yeah, we'll lock in with Afghanistan.
All right, they said Afghanistan. Rachel and Alex, what do you think?
We were also thinking about the stands and trying to figure out what might count as Middle East.
So I originally put out Afghanistan, and then Rachel said, well, if it was Afghanistan, then the retired Air Force.
I feel like he would know it more quickly.
Yeah, Josh would have known it.
Little game theory there.
Yeah.
Baby.
So we discounted that one just because of that.
Yeah.
And it kind of left us with Turk or Kyrgyzstan. And I said, it's not Kazakhstan because Kazakhstan's border with China is huge. But I think there's something or a few countries nestled under Kazakhstan that just barely come up against China. And it's also a stan. So at the end of the day, we said Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah.
All right, Kyrgyzstan for Rachel and Alex, Afghanistan for Josh and Steve. The correct answer is Afghanistan.
Oh, good job.
Really good job.
We should have gone with it. Sorry.
How long is that border, Jonathan? Do you have
47 miles long.
Oh, okay.
Teeny tiny. All right, your last question in the 6th round is a fictional character resume. Here's how this is going to work. After each clue, both teams can choose to lock in an answer or continue hearing clues. If only one team locks in, the other team can hear all the remaining clues before answering. The first team to give the correct answer wins the points. In case of a tie, both teams get the points. So, you'll send me your answers via text when you do select your answer, or by messenger or whatever. I'm going to go one clue at a time and give each team about a minute to see if they want to choose to lock in at that time or if they are going to ask for another clue. Sound good? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Clue number 1. And by the way, this, just to be clear, fictional character resume is the category. Clue number 1. My birth name is Hansel Schmidt. Hansel Schmidt.
You're looking for the character, right?
I'm looking for the fictional character who fits the 5 clues that I have.
Okay.
If you know it after 1, you should lock in after 1. I need to know in the next 10 seconds if either team is locking in.
We are not.
3,
No,
2,
we're not going to
1.
lock in.
All right.
Yeah, no.
Next clue. I grew up in Germany, where most of my time was spent listening to American Forces Radio. If I didn't say it before, shout out to Clint Givens. This is his 3rd question today, and I love it. 10 seconds. If you're going to lock in, you need to tell me.
Nope.
Oh.
2, 1, time. Question clue number 3. I've been married twice, once to an American soldier and once to my bandmate, Yitzhak. Yitzhak is spelled Y-I-T-Z-H-A-K. So far your clues are, birth name is Hansel Schmidt. Grew up in Germany, where most of my time was spent listening to American Forces Radio. I've been married twice, once to an American soldier and once to my bandmate, Yitzhak. 30 seconds. I need to know in the next 10 seconds if you're going to lock in. 3, 2,
we're not going to lock in.
1.
Nope.
Time is up. All right. Clue number 4. I've cosplayed as several personas, including Farrah Fawcett and Miss Beehive, 1963. I've cosplayed as several personas, including Farrah Fawcett and Miss Beehive 1963. 30 seconds. 10 seconds to let me know if you're locking in. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Okay, last clue. I am the true songwriter behind all of Tommy Gnosis's songs, including Wicked Little Town and The Origin of Love. I'm the true songwriter behind all of Tommy Gnosis's songs. Gnosis is Gnosis, including Wicked Little Town and The Origin of Love. I see thumbs up from Alex and Rachel. Go ahead and send me your answer.
Okay.
Okay, I've received your answer. Josh and Steve, you guys have 30 seconds left on my mark. Mark.
Well, I guess we can talk right now, Steve.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. So we were kind of throwing around whether or not this was some sort of superhero. And then the cosplay clue, maybe it was some sort of fictional character that could morph into something, or Josh threw out maybe a drag queen persona.
You've got 10 seconds, guys.
Nothing's ringing a bell. Dude, RuPaul? I don't know.
Yeah.
I need your answer.
RuPaul.
All right. I gave you all 5 clues. I'm not going to read them again. Rachel and Alex, why don't you guys share what you locked in with after the 5th clue?
We said Hedwig.
Yeah, I said Hedwig. From that play, ?
Yeah, and it's Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And I was actually trying to think that right at that time because I do remember, I haven't seen it. I hear I ought to. And I do remember that there was musical theft was a part of the plot.
So the correct answer is Hedwig from Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Moly.
This is John Cameron Mitchell's 1998 rock musical and its 2001 film adaptation. Rachel and Alex get the 10 points.
Nice job.
Yeah, good job.
All right, and that is the end of the 6th round. Going into the gauntlet, Steve and Josh have 100 and... Oh, let me do some better math than that. 130. Alex and Rachel have 118. It is 130 to 118. Josh and Steve have the lead. Today's gauntlet is written by Susie Becker, one of our favorites out in California. And the category is... Am I Blue?
Okay. Math time, huh?
All right. So we got it. We got our bet.
Beautiful. So your wager's locked in. Rachel and Alex, are you guys ready to lock in your wager?
Our wager is locked in.
Here we go. Not round anything. Gauntlet. Question number 1. This is Susie Becker's Am I Blue gauntlet. What brand of blue jeans, celebrating over 50 years with its iconic pockets, has a design on the back pocket called a batwing? What brand of blue jeans, celebrating over 50 years with its iconic pockets, has a design on the back pockets called a batwing?
It's just the batwing that's 50 years old, right?
That is the way the question is written, yes.
Our answer is locked in.
Our answer is locked in.
Wonderful. All right, question 2 in the Am I Blue gauntlet. In October 2021, microbial studies of the feces of Austrian salt miners some 2,700 years ago has led researchers to discover a rather sophisticated diet consisting of 2 things, blue cheese and what else? Scientists said this was the first molecular evidence of the consumption of these 2 things in Europe.
You said Austrian, right?
I did say Austrian, yes.
Yes, okay.
I'm good with our answer, Steve.
Okay, Jonathan, we are locked in.
How many years ago?
2,700 to 700.
So I like where you're thinking. Yeah, I'm definitely deferring to you. Let's lock in.
All right. Our answer is locked in.
All right. Question 3. Kind of Blue, a 1959 album by an American jazz trumpeter, is regarded as one of the most significant jazz albums in recorded history. Name the trumpeter, who is known not only for his music, but also for his flamboyant suits and for sometimes playing concerts with his back to the audience, which Susie can personally attest to, and lastly, for being married to Cicely Tyson.
Yeah, we're locked in.
All right, Rachel and Alex are locked in. Steve and Josh.
Yeah, of course we have a trumpet player. Trumpet player here. We are locked in.
We are locked in.
All right, so I'm going to come back there and I'm going to ask for your answers. Here we go. The first question, I asked you what the brand of blue jeans was with a pocket design called a Batwing. I want to hear from Josh and Steve first. What did you say?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I heard this maybe on Trivial Warfare or on one of those TV shows about collecting items, but I'm pretty sure that the Batwing is synonymous with Levi's jeans.
And so you locked in with Levi's jeans?
That's correct.
Okay, Rachel and Alex, what did you say?
We also said Levi's, and I think Josh had a similar point of confusion as I did, which is Levi's as a brand is much older, but if we're just talking about one feature, that could easily be 50 years old.
Yeah, and the question did say 50 years with its iconic pockets.
Yeah.
Question 2, I asked you to tell me what the other food item was, food or drink or whatever, that scientists discovered in 2,700-year-old Austrian feces. So, Rachel and Alex, tell me what you were thinking.
We were thinking alcohol, spontaneous fermentation around that time. Could have happened. We think beer was older because they were growing grains in Europe, and it was probably harder to grow grapes in Austria than it was to grow grain. So wine goes with blue cheese, so we said wine.
Okay. Josh and Steve, what did you say?
Both of us remember reading this story. I recall this about 2 weeks ago. The salt miners found with blue cheese and beer is the answer we went with.
Okay, so wine versus beer in the second question. And in the third question, which artist married to Cicely Tyson is responsible for Kind of Blue? Josh and Steve, what did you answer?
Yeah, a couple different trumpeters came up. I mean, Louis Armstrong, I thought of Dizzy Gillespie, but I don't think quite fit the timeline of 1959 Kind of Blue. And I do recall from earlier trivia questions, this guy had the album, and I'd also play his Back to the Crowd. Coolest guy out there you could find, and that's Miles Davis.
All right, you said Miles Davis. Alex and Rachel, what was your answer?
He knew this one cold. Alex would have known this cold, so.
Yeah, it is. There's a couple of songs on the album that reference blue. There's like all blues again, so it was just a blue bonanza. But we also said Miles Davis.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's get to the correct answers. The answer to your first question about the blue jeans is, in fact, Levi's jeans.
All right.
If you see their red Levi's design, you'll see the two curves coming to a point in the middle. It's like almost like a butt print when you think about it. But that is the bat wing that they're talking about. It's the hump design. And the third question, the correct answer was Miles Davis, as both teams figured out. And so it's going to come down to beer versus wine in our Austrians, who apparently were getting drunk one way or another. The correct answer, pairing with blue cheese, is beer. Beer is the correct answer. It takes all the drama out of the game, unfortunately. So Rachel and Alex, we'll start with you. What did you wager?
13. Lucky 13.
13. That means you are going to finish with 105 points. Josh and Steve, what did you wager?
So Steve and I were both under the mindset that champions bet 0, but we threw out there, well, what if one of them tries to get smart and bets 13?
Oh, no.
So we wanted to try and cover that, and so we came up with the answer of 5.
Conservative bets in this game with a final score of 135 to 105. Your winners are Josh Wennrich and Steve Morris. Good
job, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, and before we go, we do like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. We'll start with our winners. Josh, we'll kick it off with you.
I was just going to do a shout out to my family, my wife who babysat, watched the kids while I was doing this awesome show. So thank to her, even though she probably won't hear it. But yeah, that's all. Make it quick.
Beautiful. All right, Steve, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything specific. I just want to put the message out there. Just be nice. With between people being cooped up with COVID and vaccines and masks and politics and all this other stuff, people are just getting mad at each other for a very silly reason. So just remember, go out with a smile, be nice to everyone that you meet, and be a good person.
Love it. All right, over to you, Rachel.
I would like to shout out my partner, Kent, who is also a big fan of the show and is just a wonderful, supportive guy and brings so much light into my life, and to my boys, Augie and Henry, for also being wonderful guys and bringing so much light and chaos to my life. And I guess lastly, just, support your local unions.
Outstanding. And lastly, Alex.
I'd like to shout out my brother. He's been out in Sacramento for a little over a year now. And
what's his name?
I miss him dear. William. My brother William. So we miss him dearly back over in cold Chicagoland area. So I know he listens to the show, so hopefully he'll have a good time.
Very, very cool. And that is going to wrap us up. We ran a little bit long, so we tried to go quick at the end here. For Alex, for Rachel, for Steve, and for Josh, my name's Jonathan. This has been episode number 360 of Trivial Warfare. Yes, I was able to finalize that during the recording. 360 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.